It's 7 p.m. in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And this is Saturday night with CarEdge for Saturday, February 24th, with your host, me, Ray, and the North Face kid, Zach, who's, I don't know, he really didn't want to do the show today.
Calm down, Pops. Let's kick things off right here. Car Market Reset 2024 customers are angry, and that is having some impacts on the automakers. We'll start right here, Dad. Ford halts 2024 F-150 Lightning shipments. Delivery of gasoline trucks begins roughly 2 months after production. The Lightning stop ship order went into effect on February 9th. Ford said it's unclear when it will be lifted. This comes on the heels, Pops.
Yeah.
I remember when Ford originally announced the Lightning, they were targeting 150,000 vehicles to be produced per year.
Yeah.
And then right after the UAW and Ford ultimately came to a conclusion on the strike, we were made aware of a slowdown in production.
Yes.
That was kind of the first domino to fall, and now ultimately a stop shipment of Ford F-150 Lightnings to dealer partners. This is some big news, man, and I think all ties back to affordability. People don't want to pay $75,000, $85,000, $90,000 for an electric pickup truck.
Yeah, so I guess that means they won't ship new ones to the dealers until, well, the dealers get rid of all those old ones. So in reality, Ford could be sitting on a lot of electric pickup trucks for quite some time. And I suppose that makes sense to them. Those are all 2024s that they're not shipping. So if you pulled up our handy dandy car search tool, we could probably find out exactly how many Lightnings are sitting in dealer inventory around the country at the moment.
We've actually done, if you go to CarEdge.com and then under resources up here, go to free guides and then find this one. These 2023 models have the most remaining inventory and highest negotiability. If I scroll down, Dad, you'll see the truth. But really what you'll see is that the Ford F-150, last time we updated this data, which was about 3 weeks ago, is the number one most in inventory 2023 new vehicle on the market right now. It's not even close. The Nissan Rogue is second on the list, but there, at the time we produced this about 3 weeks ago, 96,000 2023 new Ford F-150s on dealer lots. Next closest is the Rogue at 47,000.
Yes, but how many of those are Lightnings? If you did a nationwide car search, because I know you have this skill set. You have shown this skill set live on other shows. I would just be curious as to how many 2023 Ford Lightning pickup trucks are available nationwide at the moment.
So nationwide, and we have a car search. So folks, if you're out there in the world and you're trying to find a car to buy, try using CarEdge.com. If you're on the search right now, just like I am, I've got Ford F-150 Lightning. I've searched nationwide. I've come down here, selected new, and then under powertrain electric, that's redundant because I selected Lightning. There's 11,136. That's 2023s and 2024. So I'll come all the way down here to year and mileage, and I will cap it off at 2023. The number didn't change.
Well, that is why, ladies and gentlemen, that they're not shipping the 2024s. My supposition.
You want to check the day supply?
Well,
do you want to check the day supply?
I was going to say the day supply has to be 150, 175 day supply. I mean, they could probably go 2 or 3 months without shipping any. And they'd still be fine, unfortunately. It's just the sad reality.
Let me sign in really quick, Pops. Give me one.
You got to sign in. Nobody has
second.
more logins than you.
All right, bear with me, folks. It's loading, it's glitching, it's loading, it's glitching. 264 days supply of the Ford F-150 Lightning.
9 months. 9 months. 9 months supply of. Just a 9 month supply. I mean, so why would they want to add to that and ship the 2024s? Now, they're going to start shipping, or they have finally started to ship the 2024 ICE versions of
Mhm.
the F-150. Um, because my guess is that perhaps the on-hand inventory for the 2023s might have dropped to like 70,000, and and so they figure it's time to ship out some of the 2024s. And when you read that article, I mean, there's a commercial buyer that's waiting on 100 2024 F-150s, that they thought they were going to have received already, that they have not. So, I mean, Ford's got some issues. They just have some issues. That's a
Yeah,
nice.
they
I'm
absolutely do.
feeling generous tonight, so I'll just leave it at Ford has some issues.
That's a very, very kind approach tonight, Pops. Let's
Yeah.
remind everyone, CarEdge.com. If you go over under resources, there's also Deal School, folks. If you're going to go buy a car anytime soon, and you don't want to buy it on CarEdge.com, go to Deal School. 100% free. Dad, the brands with the most days supply of inventory right now. Let's pull it up on the screen. Ford is not even on this list. All right, so we're kind of poking fun right now.
Yes.
We're actually we're doing a good job. We're not poking fun at anything right now. We're just acknowledging the fact that customers are very, very upset with the
Yes.
price point of 2023 Ford F-150 Lightnings. This days supply is a concept that we like to look at all the time. It's how many days it would take to sell the available inventory based on the current sales rate. It's what the industry measures to get a pulse for how popular and how fast their inventory is turning. Dodge, a
Dodge. Yes.
363
Oh,
day
what a
supply.
year.
This is another example of a brand
Yes.
that customers are just fed up. Like this is a reset happening right now for Dodge, and we can dig into some more of the numbers. But I mean, Ford isn't even on this list of brands that have the most days supply, the slowest selling inventory in the United States.
Well, when a manufacturer has 1 year's worth of supply based on the current sales rate, that's an issue. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. That's an issue. Um, the average day supply they would like to see is somewhere between probably 45 and 75 days. So to have a year supply, um, somebody screwed up somewhere.
Can I show you something? Or let me
Yeah.
ask you. Let me ask everyone that's here. There's 800 or so people hanging out with us on Saturday night. We appreciate it. One of them is my girlfriend. So thank you, Laura, for being here
Indeed.
and spending
Yeah.
some time. Laura, question for you, question for the chat, question for my dad. What do you think has happened to Dodge what do you think has happened to their sales from their all-time high? So the all-time high for sales for Dodge were in 2013. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think has happened since 2013? Have sales gone up even more? Did they have a new all-time peak in 2023, or have they gone down? And if so, how much? What do you think?
This is a guess from me because I have no idea. But if I were to guess, their sales are off 43.75% from their all-time high in 2013.
All right. So my dad says around 40% from their all-time high down, which is a huge decline. We've
Yes.
got 41% as well here from retired MCO, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking Montgomery County here in Maryland. 45%. Folks, we need some bigger guesses in the chat. That I hate to say, but we need some bigger guesses in the chat. 50% isn't even enough, Dad. Dodge, the brand that has a year's worth of inventory on dealers' lots, 53%, still not high enough. And I wish I was kidding. The brand that has a year's supply of inventory on dealer lots have seen their sales decline 67%. They
Wow.
sold in 2013 almost 600,000 cars in America. Last year, they sold just under 200,000. And in 2022, it was even lower at 191,000. Dad, like, sure, the
Wow.
Challenger and the Charger are going away. But is the whole brand going away? Because that's what it seems like. It seems like customers don't want to buy a Dodge product anymore.
Well, they could buy that Dodge Hornet and help move the needle, but they're not.
They're not.
That for the Dodge boys, the Dodge brothers out there, um, they're spinning in their graves. That is, you hate to see an American brand die, but that they're going the way of Mercury, of Oldsmobile, of Pontiac, um,
100%.
yeah, Etzel. Um, it is just, I mean, how much longer are they going to be around? I know that they're planning on making EV muscle cars. Um, and the concept for the Dodge brand is to figure out a way to pump in the phony sounds of a big Hemi engine,
Yeah.
to give you the sense that you're still driving a real muscle car. Um, I don't know. It's. I mean, when you think about it, and I know I rail on Stellantis all the time, and we know that Stellantis is probably the most profitable conglomerate of automobile manufacturers in the world. Uh, but they have taken it upon themselves to really render some iconic American brands worthless. They're doing it to Dodge. We have seen sales of Jeeps drop 34% from when Stellantis took over, when they became more of a Fiat product than a Jeep Chrysler product.
Yep.
So even though Stellantis is extremely profitable globally, what it is that, as an international company, as a global company, as really a French company, what it is that they're doing to these iconic American brands is really kind of sad. I mean, Chrysler doesn't have much to offer anymore. Um, Dodge can't sell,
Yep.
and Jeep is dying. uh what's left? The Ram pickup truck, and everybody wants that $90,000 tungsten trim that's coming out. um so yeah, this nice French company has basically blown up Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Now, there is one solution that it seems like Stellantis may be having to take a hold of here. One potential lever, as the business people like to say, that they could pull. Because look at this list, guys, of the top 5 slowest selling brands in the United States of America. 4 are the Stellantis brands:
Yes.
Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, Dodge, Volvo. They're at the 5th spot. There's one lever that they can pull down, which are incentives, and I want to share on the screen. This is real insider information. This is allocation for a particular region in the United States for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Rams. The negative numbers represent the amount of vehicles that dealers have turned down in this region for their inventory. And so you can see here that for the Compass, the Jeep Compass, dealers in this region have turned down 741 units that have been produced that Jeep is looking to actually put on a dealer's lot. And the dealers all said no, 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 no. Ram 2500, 688 of them have been denied for allocation. The Hornet, which we talked about, is not selling at all. 531 have been denied allocation. The Ram LD Crew Laramie, 422 light duty, have been denied 422 times. The Wagoneer, 208. So the dealers, Dad, at this point, for the brands that are moving the slowest in the United States, are not even taking on the inventory. So the one lever that the
Wait a
OEM
second.
can pull,
Yeah, but why would they take on the inventory? Dodge had a 363-day supply of cars. That's a year's worth of cars. Why would a dealer agree to take any more?
Our data source, by the way, is based on dealer advertised listings, which I'm starting to think is actually not accurate, because we just showed you, because this was
Yeah.
sent to us. We have some inside sources. This just shows you that we're missing in one particular region 741 Jeep compasses,
Them too, yeah.
741 Jeep Compasses, because they're not being advertised for sale, but they've been produced and dealers are turning down the allocation. The one lever, Dad, let's both pull it together. Pull the lever. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Pull it. We went opposite directions, but that's okay. The one lever you can pull is incentives. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a new lead executive starting for Stellantis North America on March 4th, I think. March 4th or March 5th. I heard through the grapevine, you should expect anywhere from 10 to 20% off MSRP discounts across pretty much the whole lineup over at CDJR once that new executive starts. And it comes on the heels of, executives for Jeep coming out and saying things like this. The turnaround plan for Jeep features price cuts. So, like, I think we're just a couple weeks away, Dad, or a week away from huge incentives having to be put on these vehicles because it's just a bloodbath right now.
Well, yeah. If and who knows how accurate? I believe our numbers are accurate based on what dealers are advertising. Um, but let's say
Even if
that
they're not accurate, they're directional, man. Like,
let's say that 363 day supply, is overstated, and it's only 300 days. That's still 10 months. So you there is no brand that needs to have 10 months worth of cars sitting in dealer inventory. The cost of carrying that inventory is astronomical, and they can't be providing their dealer network with enough floor plan assistance to get them to say, yes, we'll take more. That they're not going to take more until they actually see prices come down, until they see incentives, both for customers, the customer rebates and such, and for dealers for hitting sales objectives. There has to be dealer
totally.
incentives as well. So until the incentives can represent 20 to 25% of the discount, they're not going to be able to sell this stuff. They're just
Exactly.
not.
That's what I'm saying. The lever is drop price. And I
Yes.
think we covered the story the other day. There's been a huge shakeup at Stellantis in terms of their North American leadership. And there's a new
Yes.
leader starting, I think it's March 4th. And the rumblings I've heard from the folks that work within the organization and then at the dealer level is that you should expect serious incentives. So I'm not trying to dissuade people from buying a
Yeah.
Ram 1500 at the end of February, end of the month. Good time to buy a car, right? February's been super slow in the industry. Good time. I'm just saying, maybe wait another week. And I've heard that you're going to see anywhere from 10 to 20% discounts on most of the Stellantis products out there because they're just, the data shows it. The headlines are showing it.
Mm-hmm.
Jeep CEO turnaround plan features price cuts. I mean, what else do you need to see? Everyone can see the writing on the wall. Finally, the executives can too, and they're making
Stevie
decisions.
Wonder can see the writing on the wall. Okay, and Stevie Wonder's been able to see that writing on the wall for the last 2 years as their inventory has continued to grow. There's my area vice president when I was in Scottsdale for the Penske organization. You've heard me say, John used to say, if your customer hasn't said yes yet, it's because you haven't lowered the price enough yet. Okay, and when merchandise becomes distressed, and in this case, if you're Dodge and you have 10 to 12 months worth of inventory sitting in dealers' parking lots, that's distressed. Anything over 75 days is distressed. That is
Yeah.
distressed merchandise. How do you get rid of this? The biggest day I ever had in my Golf USA franchise store in Mesa, Arizona, was the first day of my going out of business sale. That was the biggest sales day I ever had in my history. Why? Because I advertised everything at distressed pricing.
I got a question for you.
Yeah,
I got a question for you.
yeah,
Let's say Stellantis calls us up a week from now and
yeah.
they say, all right, gang, we hear you. We're effed. We want to do a going out of business sale. Do every video for 2 weeks straight are flames, and it's go. They'd probably start selling cars, man, if they had a going out of business sale. It pains me to say it, but they probably would start selling cars and trucks.
Um, yeah, and it's they know what they have to do. Okay, what it costs them against the bottom line is probably what's preventing them from doing it. But you've got to take your $115,000, $120,000 grant Grand, what is it? Grand
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 Wagoneer.
Wagoneer Series 3. Okay. And drop that 40 grand. You got to take that $120,000 vehicle, make it 80, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to say to that customer, we've found that our Grand Wagoneer customers are secure enough in who they are that they don't have to spend that extra $20,000 to $25,000 to get a Denali or a Suburban or an Escalade. That they'd rather keep that money in their pocket and be able to walk out of here with an $80,000 Grand Wagoneer. You've got to find a way to make it appealing to people. I remember during the Great Recession when it started. Yeah. And my Acura rep said to me, he said, well, what can we do? What do you think we can do? And I said, you've got to offer leases that are so cheap that people are going to say to themselves, even though I know I shouldn't get a new car right now because of what's going on, that's too good a deal to pass up.
Yeah.
And that's how you combat it. But
I mean, you're seeing that. You are starting to see that come back. It's tough. It's tough with some of the Stellantis products because the prices have gone up so much. But there are some, I mean, like the Chevy Trax, man. You can lease a Chevy Trax for $350 a month. That's insane. Like to have a car that gets you from point A to point B at $350 a month. 5 years ago, that wasn't insane. Today, that's insane. There are options out there, but it's tough to do.
I'm gonna suggest a car to you that isn't part of our dealer network at the moment, but for somebody that wants a sub $20,000 car, new car, Nissan Versa. Okay. Hey, maybe even get it in a stick because you might not be happy with their CVT automatic transmission. So teach yourself how to drive a manual. The MSRP's under $17,000. What are you buying a used car for when you can buy a brand new Versa? It's a Nissan. It's a Versa. It's not the nicest car in the world. Brand new, has a warranty. You might have to use it more often than you would like, but it's a brand new car. So there are some things out there that people just have to make themselves aware of. And, I mean, hell, at 17 grand, I'd almost buy one just so I could teach you how to drive a manual transmission.
All right, folks, again, I just want to make everyone aware, CarEdge.com, that is our company, me and my dad. What we're working on is behind the scenes. We are getting deals into your hands, cars delivered to your door. So, for example, we just got our first Toyota dealer signed up behind the scenes. You can get a RAV $4,000 below MSRP, free shipping to some states in the U.S., those in the Southeast and in the Midwest. And
can I tell you how to advertise that? Free shipping to any state you're not in. It's never going to be free in your state. No, I'm kidding.
We're working on it. If you're a dealer out there and you want to learn how to work with us, it has to be competitive pricing, no dealer add-ons. You got to play by the CarEdge rules, aka if we've got a customer for you, you get the car delivered to their door, all that fun stuff. No upselling on F&I products, yada, yada, yada. You can check that out. Let's jump back into the data for a moment, Pops, because I want to put you on the spot, and I'll put the crowd with us here as well. Chrysler sales.
Yes.
What do you think Chrysler sales have done since their peak in 2015? So I'll let you know, in 2015, Chrysler sold almost 318,000 cars here in the US of A.
They don't have
what do you
anything
think
to sell? Look, they got the Chrysler 300 and the Pacifica. They got nothing to sell. They got an empty shelf. Okay.
So what do you think? Dodge sales are down 67% from their all-time high.
I'm going to guess that say in 2023, maybe between the Pacifica and the Chrysler 300, maybe they sold 75,000 vehicles last year.
All right, pretty good guess. They are down 67% at 133,000 vehicles sold, which was up from the lowest they've had in the 2020s, which was 110,000 a few years back. So Chrysler sales are down 67%. Dodge sales are down 67%. And again, both of those make it onto the Mount Rushmore of slowest selling cars and brands in the United States right now. I just want to put it to the test, man. You know me, I always love doing these experiments, and then we'll come back to the chat. I'm over on the car search, so CarEdge.com. /buy. I'm going to go. Let's actually do this, Dad. So which one? A Pacifica, a Hornet, a
It doesn't
Renegade? What do you want to
matter.
look at?
It doesn't matter. They're all bad. Just pick one. Throw a dart.
We'll search for a Pacifica that's not electric. We'll do all of them here. All right, so we're looking at Pacifica's for sale nationwide. Pacifica is one of the vehicles you can get from CarEdge, but I want to come down here, Dad. Wow, they are expensive. We'll click
Yes.
on this one. Actually, let's do one that we can actually see. How about that? Yeah, I guess this one right here. So we've got a 2023 Chrysler Pacifica. Where am I located? We'll find that out in a second. 170-day supply. That's what I was looking for. And this is in Pineville, North Carolina.
Well, there you have it.
North Carolina. 170 days is too much, though, man. Like, this is the
it's
data
100
that
days
informs,
too much.
Yeah, that's the data that informs your negotiating with a dealer. Like, they can't sit on that.
Well, you know what? There's been a lot of dealers that have proven us wrong, that they are willing to sit on it, and which makes no sense whatsoever. And I saw was it a tweet, an X, whatever, something from a car dealership guy about smart dealers see the handwriting on the wall, and they know that they have the key to their success right now is inventory management and turning vehicles as quickly as possible. And then there's a group of dealers that are holding out hope against hope, and they're not looking at it like that. They're thinking that there's this miracle that's about to happen, where the people are going to keep coming streaming in and agreeing to pay way too much for all the vehicles they have for sale. And then there's others that have no idea what's going on, and they'll just end up going out of business. There are, why dealers that are severely overstocked with inventory are still taking the approach that they can just hold out for these ridiculous prices as opposed to turning the inventory as quickly as possible is beyond me. And maybe it's because, I started in the car business in 1977. And I don't know, along the way, I learned about inventory management. I learned about how important it is to turn your inventory as quickly as you possibly can to mitigate the cost of carrying that inventory. And as a manager, a department manager, whether you be a new car manager or a used car manager or a general manager, you have to be acutely aware of your inventory position and what your average sales rate is for each one of those models, so that you can keep your inventory in the sweet spot. And once you see it going in the wrong direction, you adjust the pricing, you adjust how aggressive you're going to be in making a deal, so that you can get your inventory back to a reasonable level. Dealers today that don't do that, it is just absolutely beyond me what they're thinking.
They're going to go out of business, man. They're going to run out of money. I mean, that's what's going to happen. We're seeing it right now. Was it beyond you when people were buying all these expensive cars, with over 115% loan to value ratio? Yeah. And then what are we seeing 2 years later? All these people going upside down, defaulting on their auto loans. The same thing's going to happen, I think, for the operators, for the business people. You can't. This business makes a lot of money when you run it effectively and on fixed operations, parts and service. And right now, it doesn't make a lot of money, and that's okay. It's cyclical.
It makes a lot of money when you sell a lot of product. It doesn't make a lot of money when you sit on a lot of product. And that's a
lot of money.
Yeah, and that's no different than any other consumer goods. It could be appliances at Best Buy. I mean, Best Buy has a sweet spot for inventory levels on KitchenAid refrigerators or or Whirlpool washers and dryers. They know what that sweet spot for the inventory should be. And
Yeah.
when it's out of whack, they'll have a sale, they'll do something about it. When the manufacturer sees it's out of whack, they'll have a sale, they'll authorize a sale for their dealers. It's always about inventory management and turning the inventory as many times during the course of a year as you possibly can.
I can see it happening every day in our business. We have had more dealers reach out to us in the past week than any week prior. There's like 6 or 7 dealers in the past week reached out to us, said, "Hey, how do we get involved with CarEdge?" Because they see that we're now working with dealers to
Yes.
fulfill customer orders. If you want a Mazda, you can get it on CarEdge. You want a Toyota, you can get it on CarEdge. You want a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or a Ford, you can get it on CarEdge. A Chevy on CarEdge. I'm getting hit up dead left and right. And I think that's only happening because they need to do inventory management and they're looking for what. Let's jump here to the chat. Does that sound okay?
If there wasn't an overabundance of cars, they wouldn't be contacting you.
Yeah.
If this was 30 months ago, they would be like this. If you called them, they'd go, "Get out of here, Zach."
Well, now when they call me, I will say, "Did you do dealer addendum stickers during the pandemic?" And if they say yes, I'll say, what was that? How'd you do that?
Get out of here.
Let's go to the chat, Pops. There's been a bunch of kind contributions that have come in. Thank you all for spending some of your Saturday night with us. This is quite fun. From Alexander, it's about that
Getting my exercise, buddy. Woo!
Be careful.
Yeah.
From David. David, good to see you. Happy
David.
belated. I know his birthday just the other day. Thank you for the contribution. Zach and Ray, my local Ford dealer, has 30 big ones, 2023 F-150 Lightnings on their lot. The local
Jeez.
The local CDJR dealer has 47 Hornets.
And you know what the worst part is? Raid can't even help take care of that.
Wow. Again, if you're joining us late, we're really talking about how this is a year of reset. Angry customers who are getting hit with all the addendums and markups and things like that. It's really everything starting to turn around. And those numbers from David help demonstrate that. From Rich, thank you, Rich, for the contribution. I'm not buying any automobile that costs more than a house. I am frugal AF. I'm pretty sure that's the driving factor right now for why sales are drying up at some of the major brands. Sales are not drying up at Subaru. I mean, actually, sales are drying up a little bit at Subaru, but like at the cheaper's not the right word, more affordable price point brands, sales are still strong. Inventory management is easier. But at CDJR, where prices have gone up over 50% over the past 5 years, this is why.
Yeah, no, that's exactly why.
This is why things have slowed down. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
All right, Dad, we've got here from Zario. Thank you, Zario. Ray, I need help.
Yeah.
San Jose, California, Stevens Creek Honda having buyer's regrets, returning it in 1 hour, but I need a car by Monday. What do you do after returning it? Will I get approved for a loan? Oh no, $7,000 down payment. Okay, can you help everyone understand if you can actually return a car or not?
Do they have like a return policy? Is this one of those dealerships where they go, it's a 3-day or 300-mile return policy? Typically, if you've signed a contract and you've taken the car off the lot, typically you own it. They don't have a return, Now, some stores, I worked in a Pontiac store at one time where we had a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. And if you didn't like the vehicle, you could bring it back and you could get a credit and exchange it towards any vehicle that was equal to or of greater value. But I don't know of very many dealers that actually have a return policy. And yeah, if today's Saturday, so it's 7:34 here, so I'm guessing it's 4:34 in the afternoon there, and you put down $7,000 and you ain't getting that back today, because that went into the safe. They made a deposit at the bank. We'll put in a check request for you. Check requests normally take, I don't know, 3 to 5 business days. Maybe next Friday we could have a $7,000 check for you,
Yeah.
if they even let you return the car. So you won't have the $7,000 to put down wherever you need to buy a car on Monday. I wish I had a little more backstory as to why you want to return the Honda that you bought.
All right, so there's the open question of can you get it returned, which, yeah, I mean, if you signed a bank contract and the dealer doesn't have any policy or something like that, you're probably not going to be able to. Every state has slightly different rules
Yeah.
around when you've actually purchased a vehicle. So in some states, it's when you've driven it off the lot. In other states, it's when you sign the paperwork. So a little bit of a gray area, some research to do there. And then on getting a new auto loan, you can get approved for another auto loan a week after getting a prior
Perhaps,
auto loan.
perhaps not. It depends. It depends how the auto loan that he's on the vehicle that he's returning, how that impacts his debt to income ratio, because that ain't coming off the bureau like that. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So there
It's
you need
messy.
to,
That's messy. That's a
yeah,
messy one.
yeah, you're in a not so good situation at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let us know what happens there,
Yes.
please. From Blake. Blake, thank you for the contribution. I'm looking for a 2024 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition. MSRP is $48,000. What do you think I could get it for? This is a perfect one to go to the car search. Pops, let me pull it up on the screen because I don't know. Do you, off the top of your head, excuse me, do you know what's going on with Honda Ridgeline inventory? I think they're very negotiable. We saw that one that had a
I
$7,000.
understand they're pretty new, but I have no idea what a black edition is. I have no idea how readily available a black edition is. I do know that, and that Hondas, along with Toyotas and some of the other Asian brands, are in slightly shorter supply than, we'll say, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram. So I don't know. I really don't know. The best place for a response for that would probably be on our community forum.
I was going to see if our algorithm had any suggestions for what the fair price is on the Ridgeline, but I'm not seeing it. It doesn't have enough data for the Ridgeline. I'll try one more, but at a different trim level. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have enough
Black
data.
edition. And do we?
Yeah, I know. And the Black Edition explain. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure, but we did recently have a community member, Blake, send into us an actual deal worksheet on a Ridgeline that had a $7,000 discount on a $44,000
$48,000 MSRP with an $8,000 discount. And
you're
most
looking
of that,
for a $48,000 one, unless the Black Edition, which I'm not an expert on how rare the Black Edition is, but unless the Black Edition is super rare, you should probably be looking at a substantial, like 10 to 20%.
Don't forget the dealer then had like $5,000 worth of dealer installed accessories, so that it wasn't a true $8,000 off. So I would post it in our community forum. Honestly, I think
CarEdge.com/community. You can do share my quote and get some input there. Shannon,
hi,
good
Shannon.
to see you here. Shannon, thank you for being with us. Had to rush home from work in order to catch the show. Thank you. Glad you got home safe. Ray and Zach are a great way to end a busy day. Another show in the books. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it, Shannon. Thank you.
This is my day. This show is my whole entire. It was my reason for being today.
All right. Well, let's help you get some exercise. Then I'll get off the screen. This is a $20 one, Pop. So I'll set it.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, go team, go. Work those arms.
A little more.
Okay, that's enough of that nonsense.
So that is how my dad gets exercise. We are not being facetious. This is a new segment of the show to get his heart rate up a little bit. And thank you for that.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do when my head hits the table on a live show? Who you calling? You calling Gina downstairs and say, send somebody up to my dad's apartment?
You don't have to shovel snow where you are. It's your exercise, man. It's a beautiful thing. I appreciate you doing it.
Well, I don't want to shovel snow.
It's a good bit, man. It's a good bit. All right, here we go from Psycho Mikey. Thank you, Psycho Mikey, for the kind contribution. SOS help, Pops. I'm
Okay.
graduating from college. Congratulations. And I want to buy a
Okay.
2024 Honda CRV Sport L for an out the door price of $37,000 in New York. Should I increase my offer or stick to it? What are your thoughts here, Pops?
Well, I I have no idea. The tax rate in New York's pretty high. I will say if you are graduating from college, there is a recent or soon to be college graduate program from Honda where
Yep.
they will give you a rebate, and they'll treat you credit wise as if you have A1 credit, assuming that you can provide them with your grades, or a diploma. If you haven't graduated yet, you don't have the diploma, but a transcript would work. Um, I don't know what the MSRP is on the Honda CRV Sport, but I would think you should be able to buy one for about MSRP plus fees, maybe a
Yeah.
little less.
I think you were spot on that assessment, Dad. I will also say, Hondas are some of the vehicles that have a lower supply, so that's why at MSRP is a pretty good barometer for where you should be. And have you gotten an out the door quote from a dealer yet? One of the best resources, Psycho Mikey, that I think we've put together, and we can do it all together here. Give me 1 second. Email templates. I'll share my screen. If you go to the Google machine and you type in CarEdge email templates, Psycho Mikey, there's all sorts of responses and things that come up. Just click on one of them. Here you go. Here are the email templates you can use. Email requesting the best out the door price quote for a new vehicle. Go ahead and copy that and send that off to the dealer that you're interested in purchasing that Honda CRV from. Hopefully soon we'll have a Honda dealer behind the scenes so you can buy that Honda directly on CarEdge. But in the meantime, use the email templates, get an OTD, and then start pressure testing. And I think you're spot on, Dad. Baseline would be around MSRP on a
Plus
Honda
fees.
CRV right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus
plus fees. Plus fees. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Psycho Mikey. Congrats again on graduating college. That's an awesome accomplishment. We've got here from Jason Fios. Thank you, Jason.
Thank
Hey
you, Jim.
guys, Crazy Virginia dealer here has a 11,300C. Oh, 11 Chrysler 300. Okay.
Yeah,
11 Chrysler 300s with $12,000 markup. What? Until February 22nd is until they finally drop them. What were they thinking?
they were thinking that there's a sucker born every minute. This is obviously what they were thinking. They were also thinking that you can't get what you don't ask for, so you might as well ask. Somebody might walk in and actually agree.
It reminds me of that dealer, Dad, who sent us the cease and desist, or that they
Yeah,
would trespass us if we went back on their lot in
yeah,
your area, the
yes,
CDJR dealership that had markups still on their CDJR inventory over
yeah,
the summer when
yes,
inventories were building.
yes.
I guess some dealers out there, they just play the game and they hope, yeah, like you said, it's suck. I am tomorrow, by the way, Pops, I got to go pick up the mail, which is outside Washington, D.C. It's in Maryland. And when I do, it's right by a CDJR dealership. So I'll bring the GoPro, I'll film some footage. We'll see what's going on in Maryland in terms of how the dealers are sticking to their guns, maybe with MSRP or hopefully no addendum stickers. But yeah, that's wild.
Just because, just as a reminder, an addendum sticker asking for a market adjustment, it's an ask. Okay, you don't have to pay it. You don't have to
Yeah.
agree to pay it. They might not sell it if you don't agree to pay some of it or all of it, but that's fine. You shouldn't be paying any of it. Okay, there are
Yep.
dealers out there who will not charge you that. So just because a dealer asks doesn't mean you have to say yes.
Instead, you can just buy on CarEdge. We're working on
Yes,
it. We're working on getting that to roll off the tongue. Troy,
yes,
thank you for the contribution. Non-luxury brands are charging luxury brand prices. That's
that is
exactly what
correct.
we've seen. We had even one of the people that work at Mazda on the
Yeah,
show, the Ram
John
Pack
Leverett.
channel.
Yeah,
Yeah, John Leverett, saying Mazda's goal is to go up market. Hyundai Kia
yeah,
prices, MSRPs have gone up 50% in the past 5 years. They're going up
yeah,
market. Everyone wants a larger share of wallet, I think is what they call it, Dad.
yes.
But not everyone is able to command it. And I think that's what we're seeing right now at Jeep and Dodge and Ram.
Yes, and even though Mazda wants to go more upscale, we haven't even talked about the fact that on on the new CX90. They have discounted the pricing by as much as $4,000. Okay, they're lowering the MSRP by as much as $4,000. So even they realize there's a limit to how upscale a non-upscale brand can go.
Yeah.
What makes Mazda and what makes Mazda popular is the fact that it is a well-made, reasonably priced, well-equipped, good value for dollar vehicle. And once you start taking that good value for dollar and move it too far upscale, then you start losing your customers. So there's a really a fine line for manufacturers to walk when they try and do this.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jeep blew past that line, which is why their sales are down 34% over the last 5 years.
Yeah, 100%, without a doubt, Dad. We've got here from Marty M. Thank you,
Yes.
Marty M. My previous salesman texted wanting me to upgrade, offering $4,000 off of MSRP as first comment before any ask from me. They are pressing for sure.
Some dealers,
Yeah.
sure. The dealers that understand that inventory management is the key to your success understand that and are doing things like that. Like that email to Marie yesterday that you shared, where the Subaru dealer in Oakland had to move 47 more Subarus by the end of the month, which was all just a sales pitch. But yeah, and somebody, I read a comment, said, well, that looked like something that was written by Chat GPT, and probably was. But the point is that there are some dealers that get it, and there's probably more dealers that get it than don't. And unfortunately, we always tend to spend time talking about the group that doesn't.
Yeah. It is unfortunate because, there are some really good options out there. Seeing lots
Yes.
of love in the comments for Mazda, and we totally agree. Mazda's also done, just throwing it out there, a great job subventing the interest rates,
Yes.
offering 0%, 0.9%. Like, those are very attractive to people.
Yes.
Here from James Pops. Thank you, James, for the contribution. Hello, Ray and Zach. Love your videos. Looking for a 2024 Toyota Corolla Cross. How negotiable are they in Northeast Ohio? Toyota Corolla Cross, Pops. I'm just pulling it up on my end. Give me a second here. We've got Corolla Crosses at $500 under MSRP if you purchase one through CarEdge with free delivery to your door. If you're in a state that we do free delivery to, which my dad has said we don't. I think we could
he's
get
not.
it.
He's in Northeast Ohio.
I think we can get it up to Northeast Ohio. I'm pretty sure,
Really?
James, we could. $500.
That's near Pittsburgh. That's Northeast Ohio.
I know, but I want to help James out. Anyway, point being, we've got $500. You could probably pit dealers together and get off even more. You could probably get like $1,000 would be my guess.
I don't know if you get 1,000, but I have no idea what the inventory levels are in Northeast Ohio for a Corolla Cross.
True.
But worst case scenario, through CarEdge, you can get $500 below MSRP.
I like that approach. I like that. That is it. Worst case scenario, you do it through us, you get $500 off. If you go beat your head up against the wall and you get 1,000 off, more power to you. I like that. I think that's actually a fair way to describe it.
And if you keep beating your head against the wall and you end up with stitches and a concussion, and you can look back and go, damn, I wish I would have just gone with CarEdge from the beginning.
Let's return back to this story, Deb, from Zario.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day return policy. So this is the California deal. Also, many people in the chat said California is a no cool off state. So once you sign it, you've bought the vehicle. It's a 2-day return policy, but haven't driven the car off lot. If they have the 2-day return policy, then just do the 2-day return policy. So I guess the real question then is, can you get the loan, a new loan?
And if you haven't driven the car off the lot, in some states, and I don't know how it is in California.
Many people said there's no cool off period in California.
Well, but what I was going to say, in some states, for instance, in the fine state of Maryland, if you sign for the car, you put the money down on the car, and you have not driven the car off the lot, you haven't taken delivery. So what happens at a lot of dealerships in Maryland is they will do what is known as a Hollywood delivery, and they'll go, "Hey, wait, we've signed all the paperwork. I know you're not planning on coming back until tomorrow to pick it up, and we'll go over everything. But why don't you and I just drive it down to the gas station? We'll fill it up with gas on us, and then you can bring it back and you can pick it up tomorrow." Well, them driving it off the lot constitutes having taken delivery because the brake lights broke the plane of the driveway. Okay. Now, in the state of Arizona, for instance, if you sign the contract in the finance office and you've given them your down payment, you own it. You don't have
to. In this case, they have a 2-day return policy, so I think we're good there.
I'm just, he hasn't taken delivery in reality. And in the state of California, for a delivery to have occurred, you might actually have to drive it off the lot. I don't know. Gotcha. And then it depends on what type of hardball they're going to try and play when you want to return it. I mean, it's not like they're going to make it painless for you. I used to tell people that we'll gladly refund your money, okay, or we'll happily refund your money.
Yeah, I
can assure you, you're not going to be ecstatic because we're not going to make it that damn easy, but you will get your money back. So it's all about degrees. It's all about how much pressure they're going to bring to bear to keep him in that vehicle or a different vehicle from them. They've got 7,000 reasons to want to make sure he stays in one of their cars.
We do hear horror stories pretty frequently. I'll pull one up. Let me just make sure there's no personally identifying information here. I think we're good to go. Yeah, we do hear horror stories all the time, not on returning vehicles to dealerships, yes, but canceling and getting refunded on extended warranties.
Yes.
Here's one that was in my email or my Twitter inbox. Zach, do you have any advice on getting a dealership to pay out a refund due to a service contract cancellation? It's going on almost 6 months after I requested a cancellation and the refund the same day I signed the purchase agreement due to shady language use. I was conned into buying a service contract on a 2023 Palisade. I repeatedly told the finance person I want the basic vehicle warranty during finance. In my head, this meant basic factory warranty on the new parts, yada, yada, yada. And they owe him $3,340. We hear this happening all the time. But, returning the vehicle is a slightly different endeavor. And 6 months, and there was a happy ending in that one just the other day. But still, these things can become very painful. I'm super proud. We sell an extended warranty, and people cancel all the time because they trade their car and they just don't want it anymore. Yeah. We refund them instantly. There's no fee or crap. Like, we just do it. It makes me feel really good because all this crap that goes on, man, it's really, really shady. From Jay Nagamy. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
Hey, Zach, any discounts on 2024 Mustang GT premiums? I don't know. I'm trying to think. We have a Ford dealer in our network, but I don't know off the top of my head if we have any discounts set up on Mustangs. I imagine we do, but I really don't know.
Well, that would be an EV, wouldn't it?
No, they have a GT.
Do they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they do. Like the actual.
Oh yeah, because it's not a Mach-E. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Jay Nagamy, shoot me an email. I'll look it up after the show. Zach, ZACH at CarEdge.com, and I'll get you some info on what we have, and then I can even ask the team so we can give you some good perspective on what you should shoot for on a Ford Mustang GT. We've got here from Marcy. Marcy, thanks for the contribution. Bought a Mazda CX-5 Carbon Edition, $2,000 below MSRP, and 0% financing. Deals on Mazda. That's awesome.
Yeah, they exist. And they exist on other brands as well. You have to work at it. There are.
You do.
I am sure there's Mazda dealers out there that might have started that deal at MSRP. And maybe allowed a customer to work them down to $1,000 off. It's just work.
We've got Mazda's significantly below dealer invoice price, which typically comes into $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 off of MSRP back on CarEdge.com. Mazda dealers have a surplus of inventory in some pockets of the country. This is a job well done, Marcy. Congratulations. 0% financing on Mazdas continues to be an awesome deal out there. 4.99% financing on some RAV4s out there, depending on what region you're in, which is also really impressive. But 0% just has a ring to it, which is quite nice. From Dark Paladin. Thank you, Dark Paladin. I've been keeping my eyes on a new 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SEL all-wheel drive. I've been planning on waiting until middle of the year for possibly a lower MSRP, which is currently at $40,000. What do you guys think? We are seeing MSRP reductions, Dad. Do you think we'll see MSRP reductions on a Mitsubishi Outlander SEL all-wheel drive?
Mitsubishi Outlanders are typically less expensive than their competitors to begin with. So not so sure that you'll see any significant price reductions other than what a dealer will do off of MSRP.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to see MSRP reductions on Mitsubishi products. We're seeing MSRP reductions on Ford products and Jeep products, but they have an immense oversupply. Mitsubishi, not so sure. Good luck as you navigate that. And then, Pops, this is a very, very, very thoughtful contribution. Yep, there it is. I fundamentally
fight night at the shore. Fight night at the shore.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I'm going to show Dara, my sister, your daughter, those clips and see what she thinks.
You would do that?
Yeah, I'm going to do that, man. It's
okay.
Paul wants to know what the CarEdge discount is on a 4Runner. $1,000 off MSRP on 4Runners back on CarEdge. Brian in Orlando, one Jeep dealership here in Orlando, has over 840 new Jeeps for sale. That's crazy.
Wait, he's got he alone has a year's worth.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I am so glad I am not a Jeep dealer or a
I was about to say,
or a Dodge dealer.
Was Audi the brand that you managed that had the worst oversupply problem, that you were never, had no price power? I'm trying to think, because obviously Jeep has absolutely no price power, but which brand that you managed had the worst price power?
Well, the Audi, the A8, it was like you couldn't give them away. You could not. I mean, if somebody came in and said, "I want an A8L," it was like the first words that inadvertently would come out of your mouth were, "You sure about that?" Because I don't know if you're aware, but nobody wants one of those. Those were like impossible to give away. But other Audis were somewhat popular, not all, but somewhat.
Occasionally.
Yeah, but and the Audi, it was, you were not expected to make the profit off of the customer. The profit was to come from the manufacturer when you hit your sales objective that they gave you for the month. That's when you got your profit.
Did you have another brand, though, that you managed that had even worse price power? Like that was oversupplied worse than Audi?
Well, we had a lot of Audis because we built a new store. And that's what happens when you build a new store. They give you a product to help make up for it. I've worked with brands when you just had too many. It was just a bad economy. You had too many cars. There were always, but the ultimate is to just keep lowering the price till somebody says yes. That's the ultimate.
Yeah, 100%. Makes a lot of sense. Let's keep moving here, Pops. I also just want to acknowledge Arlen says to Philip, you should ask in the CarEdge community forum. Zach right now only answers if you pay, but if you ask on the community forum, it's free. I will try and find, Philip, your comment. There's lots of comments, so it's very difficult. You see there's a different color, so we're going to come to you, Krishna, in just a moment. It's a different color, so it catches our eye.
Yes.
So that's why I pull it up. But Arlen is right. We have caredge.com/community. There are tens of thousands of active community members helping one another back on caredge.com/community, as well as members of the CarEdge team on the community forum. I was looking, Dad. We're up to 38 people that work at CarEdge. I was looking at that today. That is insane to me. So there are people on the CarEdge team that are there. Thank you to everyone that does work at CarEdge to help.
So you mean when you say, CarEdge, that's the company my dad and I. It's not your dad and I.
Yeah, it's so
Okay,
much more, man.
it is. There are so many people.
38 people, dude. I'm like rocked. I have this emotions card here. I'll show everyone. I'm so
Yes,
proud of my emotions card. I'm gonna pick an emotion because it's crazy to me to think that there's 38 people that get
that
paid
that
a
get
life.
paid twice a month, um, and never once has a paycheck bounced.
All right, let
Um,
me let me
yeah.
let me figure out what
So
emotion I feel.
so you're not doing the whole team justice when you say my dad and I. It's you know as I like to say, I'm just the pretty face, and you're the brains. Um, but there's like the brains of 36 other people behind that
Oh, I
makes.
wasn't counting you. We're 39. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
you weren't even counting me. Jeez. Okay, so much for him being the brains behind all this. Um, but the point is that
Oh,
you
man.
know folks know us from the live streams, the
Yeah.
daily news show, the help videos that we do during the week, and that is like that's nothing. That is just that's the entertainment portion of the program, ladies and gentlemen. That that is so that there can be 39 other people
Yeah,
that
it's wild.
contribute to developing the website, developing the software, designing the look of everything, searching out dealers, so that we can put together a dealer network. There is so many people involved. It,
Yeah. It's
th-
pretty cool, man.
yeah, I mean, and everybody said, "Well, you guys just do this for the money on YouTube." Hey, the money on YouTube's nice. It's not like I get it. It's not like he gets it. It goes right back into the business, and it is a minuscule portion of what the business
Yeah.
generates. But yeah, you need to pay those people.
I feel exhilarated and always a little nervous and anxious. It's a lot of responsibility. Let's keep it going, pops. Again, community forum. We're not going to get to everything tonight, but
Yes,
that's a place to get some resources from Marty. Again, thank you, Marty.
yes.
Speaking of Mazda, have you ever heard anything good or bad about the CX-70 due out this spring? I knew nothing about the CX-70.
Basically, from what I understand, the CX-70 is the CX-90 without the third row. Okay, so it's a two-row SUV. Obviously, it'll be less expensive than the CX-90, and that's all I know about it at this point. I know that when I consider for myself a Mazda, the two vehicles that I would be most interested personally, and John Leverett suggested the CX-30 Turbo for me, premium, so I could get the Bose sound system, um, or the CX-50, which is just a little bit bigger than the CX-30. And truth of the matter is, I probably wouldn't do either. And if I do anything at all when my lease is up, I'll end up in a Vespa.
How did we end up there, Dad? How did we end up with
You
your
don't
personal decisions for a
I
Mazda?
don't know. I don't know.
We're back to Krishna. Krishna, thank you for the contribution. Anything on RAV4 Hybrid Limited in Texas? Texas is one of the states we have free shipping. Krishna, we have $1,000 below MSRP on RAV4 hybrids. I was given $49,000 price when MSRP was 30. Oh my God. No. Oh, saying add-ons are 5. Krishna, this is perfect. This
Yes.
I really, please email me or just go on the website. Email me, Zach@CarEdge.com, ZACH@CarEdge.com. I will hook you up with the right person on the team. We've got people that work on Sunday. We have free shipping and $1,000 under MSRP. Then maybe we could even make a success story video together, Krishna, because holy cow, you're going to save a bunch of money and headache.
And I want pictures of you and the dog in that RAV4 hybrid.
Yeah, this is like textbook what we're trying to solve, Krishna. So please do not pay $10,000 over MSRP. Oh my goodness. Please email me, man. Please, seriously. Cameron, thank you, Cameron.
Thank you,
Thank
Ken.
you, everyone who's contributed. This has been very kind, very generous. What is your opinion on lot rot? With inventory sitting for so long, what could be going wrong with a car sitting for 6 months to a year? Any personal stories you have from this are also interesting, Dad.
Okay. The first thing is that if a car's been sitting for 6 months, trust me, it hasn't really been driven and it hasn't been moved very often. So the first thing you're going to figure out when you take it for a test drive and you take it on the highway and you hear that thump, 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 that's the flat spots in the tires that are probably not going to come out of the tires. So that's lot rot. So you're going to need new tires. Personal stories. All types of rodents love the wiring harnesses inside vehicles. Something to do with they're made with soy, and those rodents love wiring harnesses, and they love to build little houses and condominiums inside and under the hood of cars as they sit. We joke about the Hornet. We had a car that had a wasp nest in it. There's all kinds of nonsense that goes on. It's just shit. Oh, ship happens, as I say in the Navy. Ship happens. The stuff sits, it rots, it falls apart. It's like, so yeah. Check the date the car was produced. Make sure you drive it. Make sure they re-PDI it. Make sure you do a test on the battery strength, because you don't want to buy the vehicle and then find out, oh my God, the battery's been drained dead and they charged it just to get it off the lot. There's all kinds of things that happen because every car has so much in the way of electronics that there's always a drain on the battery. There's always some type of draw. And batteries will go bad just from sitting.
Yep, 100%. I've seen that. That recently with some customers where they get a car that had been sitting, battery stops working a week later, and it's because it never actually got charged. Yeah. Just a cinnamon bun. Thank you. In my experience, Mitsubishi will do deep discounts on previous model years inventory that's left over. Look for a leftover 2023 for the best discount.
Yeah.
Love the insight there.
Yeah.
Just a cinnamon
Thank you,
bun.
Just a cinnamon bun.
Thank you. And then we've got here from Rich Diana. Maybe Rich Diana or Rich and Diana. I don't know. Thank you. Ray, what was your best year in the industry and what was your worst? I think that's an awesome question.
I think it was in 2005 or 2006. When I was with the Penske organization, they had a thing called Winner Circle. And based on the size of your store, you're given net profit objectives for the year. And if you hit that net profit objective, then you became a Winner Circle dealer, and they had a huge celebration for those dealers in Las Vegas. And many years we got close. Ours was a net profit number of $1 million. Now,
wow.
Let me set this up for you. We had a 35,000 square foot facility, and it was the second largest facility on our campus in North Scottsdale. And so our share of the common area maintenance for the campus was based on having the second largest square footage. The store with the most square footage was the BMW store, and trust me, they were making a poop ton, and they could afford whatever the common area charges were. The Porsche dealer, which was smaller than us, but was making a poop ton, their expenses were less. Now, rent at that time, and I'm talking 2005 or 2006, rent at that time for an average Acura dealer was about $25,000 a month for their facility. Ours was $115,000. Okay, so it was more than 4 times the average rent. And our expenses were higher because we had a higher percentage of the common area maintenance. So it was harder for us to hit that $1 million net number, but we hit it. And that year we averaged, I think it was 108 new car deliveries per month, and 50
Wow.
used car deliveries. So we were averaging 158 cars a month. We made $1 million net. Got to take your mother to Las Vegas. I think, if I remember correctly, we flew up on a Wednesday. They put us up at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas.
Very nice.
They treated us to shows. The Blue Man Group they took us to one night. They rented out the nightclub in the bottom of the Wynn for us one evening.
You must have loved that.
Oh, it was they paid for everything. They paid for our airfare. They paid for the hotel. They gave us
You made him $1 million
well,
net.
yeah,
You'd hope.
they gave us gifts. There was a little cloth pouch, and inside the pouch was $1,000 chip to cover whatever incidental expenses you might have during your stay. And so we arrived on Wednesday, and we went home, I think, on Saturday. We could have stayed until Sunday if we wanted to. I mean, they paid for everything. And
that was the best. Yeah.
And we got, every dealership got called up on stage, got to shake Roger's hand, Mr. Penske's hand, and then he handed you a box, and inside the box was a Rolex watch. Now, if you were the GM, it was a Rolex Presidential. If you were just a new car manager, such as myself, it was, as one of my customers reminded me, that's just a starter Rolex. But it was a Rolex nonetheless. So that was like 2005, 2006. And, we were kicking it. I mean, we were number one in volume in our area. We were the number one dealer. We were number one in customer satisfaction index. And then 2008.
Yeah, what goes up must come down.
There was the Great Recession. And the day I was relieved of my duties, we were now averaging 50 new cars a month and about 20 used. And so that was ugly. That was the worst of times. And it got, because I got let go in June. By August of that year, they only delivered 18 new cars that month. I mean, it got really ugly. It's like anything. There's good times and there's bad times. The best time at my golf shop was the first day of my going out of business.
It's the way life goes, man.
Who knew the day I opened the door that I should have had my going out of business sale that day? But I should have.
You would have started off on the right foot.
I wouldn't have wasted so damn much money.
Don't be surprised, folks, when we have a going out of business sale. But don't get mad at me afterwards when you realize it was just a ploy, because now I know it's the most effective sale we could possibly do. Dad Brian is a soothsayer. He says chair dancing with the stars featuring Ray Shefska. And
I like that. Yeah.
Augie's here to keep you honest for that.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Where do you think the boxing comes out? I mean, that's just like an interesting dynamic for you.
I don't know. There's that one, I forget what the guy's name was, who had like karate and boxing moves. Kimbo, Taibo, something, but I don't know.
Kimbo Slice?
It wasn't him, but there was some health guru type of guy with the workout routine. I don't know. What do you want from me?
We'll keep
Taibo. That was it. Yeah.
Apple Holloway. Thank you, Apple Holloway. I'm stuck between buying a used Honda Accord Coupe, or a used coupe, or a used Infiniti Q60 coupe for a long-term daily driver. Honda, right? Honda.
Well, I will tell you this, that Infiniti is struggling both as a new and used car brand. The Honda will always retain a higher percentage of its original value than that Infiniti will.
Yeah. Honda. DH wants to know if they do comments on here, or if you have to super sticker again. trying our best, folks. We're going to keep it moving. Kathleen, not a super sticker. Question: I heard some cars can be sold under MSRP since dealerships get discounts for a bundle deal of cars sent to their dealership. Is that true? So this is the reason I pulled this question up, because it shows kind of, Kathleen, some fundamental things that really you should go to CarEdge.com/deal school. It's 100% free. And you should take, even if you just spend like 15, 20 minutes there, you'll learn a lot. Dealerships all around the country can sell cars under MSRP. The way the industry works is on an allocation, turn and earn system. You should feel super comfortable negotiating below MSRP. There are some brands we talked about earlier, Toyota and Honda, that still are at MSRP. That's changing rapidly, though. So really, again, like we have most all Toyotas except for the primes under MSRP at CarEdge.com. So go to Deal School, because this question demonstrates like a little bit of some foundational knowledge about car buying that if you spend 15, 20 minutes, you'll be a lot more confident, Kathleen. So go take a peek at that. We've got here, Dad, from Solomon the First. Thank you, Solomon. Hi, guys. What should I hope to get off MSRP on a BMW or Mercedes? I'm looking at a 2024 440i convertible. Thanks. I'll put one up in the car search real quick, but I'm pretty sure BMW's got
I
inventory.
would just guess, at least on the BMW side of things, probably 5 to 6% off. Maybe
Give
more.
me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to CarEdge.com. I've clicked on the car search. I'll pull it up on the screen, Solomon, so we can do it all together. This is a 440i and a 2024 and a convertible. So give me a second. Let me do new. And then we said trim. It's going to be the 440i. I got no BMW 440i's. Give me a second here. That can't be right. Maybe it's because it's the M440i. Let me try that. There we go. So we got the 440i here. I don't know if I'll be able to find a convertible that. All right, there we go. Holy cow, these get expensive. What's 57 off of 81, Dad?
About 5%, 6%, 7%.
All right. You can use the website, or you can just text my dad, and he'll give you the answer, Solomon. All right. John A. Diaz. John, thank you for the contribution. In Southern California, I'm looking for a full-size truck, but I'm afraid of the markups. What do you recommend? Ford, Dodge, or GMC, Toyota, Nissan are better alternatives. Full-size pickup trucks right now are selling well below MSRP, John. No markups, even in Southern California. And if you can't find one, we'll ship it to you from the East Coast, man, because they're selling full-size pickup trucks here. Dad, we've done it already. People paid like $2,000 in shipping to get a car across the country, a truck across the country, because they're selling for like 10, 15% under MSRP here on the East Coast. So Toyota Tundra's selling well below MSRP. Nissan Frontier's well below MSRP. So, John, I would expand your search radius, maybe.
Yes.
And be open to shipping, or be open to flying out and picking up the truck, because you should not be paying. The word markup shouldn't even be in the lexicon at this stage of the game.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know how it goes, John. Ray, show your watch.
I showed this last week. This is the Spinnaker something or another in regatta white. 1,000 feet waterproof, automatic, was $194.
I just want to pull up one comment in the chat really quick. Douglas, be careful buying out of state. You'll have to pay sales tax twice. That is not correct, Douglas.
It depends.
Not correct.
It depends. Most states, you if you pay it in the state where if you're paying cash, you won't have to. If you're financing it, you might have to pay tax in the state where you buy it. And most states will give you a credit of that tax paid towards the tax that's going to be due in California.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any states that I haven't run into it, because we're doing more and more out-of-state deals. So I haven't run into that yet. I don't think I don't know. Okay, I won't paint with too broad of a brush, but we've done out-of-state deals every day for the past 3 months, and we haven't run into this once yet at CarEdge. So I haven't seen anyone have to pay sales tax twice. And cash deal obviously is the cleanest, easiest. You just
I remember about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Justice and I were looking at California and their rules.
We've done out-of-state California deals. We haven't had any issues.
Maybe not yet.
Finance and cash deals to California.
or maybe it was if you buy it in California, you have to
California's
pay.
a pain. Like,
No,
don't.
if I believe if you buy it in California and you're taking you're paying California tax.
I
California,
believe that doing
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Don't take this the wrong way, people in California. State's beautiful, but like doing anything in California is like a whole different world than doing things outside of California and bring it in. If you buy a car outside the state of California, it is a bit of a pain in the butt to get your tags. So you have to do a smog inspection. You have to get a VIN inspection done. You have to get those forms documented, and then you have to remit them to the
notarized.
DMV agency. So like there are steps, but like I have never seen us
Yeah,
do
they
sales tax twice, but
typically
maybe it's out of California. Maybe it's out of California.
typically the way it works is states are reciprocal when it comes to the sales tax collected, so that if a customer was a California customer but they bought the car in Idaho and they had to pay Idaho taxes, that that California then petitions Idaho for that portion of the tax, and the customer only pays the difference between what they had paid in Idaho and what the total tax would have been due in California.
And I know
I
some
believe.
dealers that won't do local taxes, but they'll do the state taxes for you so you can get your title processed in your home state. But then when you go and you take the title to get your permanent plates and your registration, you'll have to pay your local county
Yes.
taxes. So like it does get a little messy, but it's again, I have not seen yet, but we don't have any dealer partners in California, so maybe that's why I haven't seen it. I have not seen yet someone having to pay sales tax twice. That would be a big deal breaker for
Yes.
very, very obvious reasons. Let's keep it moving, Pops. We're gonna take
Okay.
this 10 more minutes, and then Pops has a nighttime wind down routine, and so do I. James, I go to bed early. James,
Well, no, I know you do.
but you like to wind down too, don't you?
Yeah, I go to bed around midnight. Yeah, I need 3 hours to wind down.
James,
I need to refill my glass with ice and ginger ale. That's my wind down.
James, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Meacham.
Any advice on using a supplier discount? I have a GM on top of a dealer discount for a Silverado. Supplier discount is about 6% below MSRP on top of any GM incentives. Could this be used if buying through CarEdge? Yeah, James, 100%. The dealer partners we have honor the supplier discounts, but I don't know if you'd get anything more than that. I'll send a text. I'll send a text right now. Let me ask. Here, give me a sec.
It's if you're using the supplier discount, it's pre-negotiated pricing. So you could get the supplier pricing plus any applicable consumer rebates that are available at that time on top of it. But the price is the price. It's listed on the invoice as to what the supplier price is that you would have to be charged.
Give me 1 second. I'm sending this.
And the dealer makes money because they get a delivery fee from GM for having facilitated the delivery and taken a vehicle out of their inventory.
Okay, I just texted a GM. That's a sentence. A general manager of a GM store to ask if they would do that, just so we can get James an answer. Here's James. So stand by. Hopefully I get an answer. Robert, good to see you here. Robert,
may I say one thing? It's Saturday night, and that GM, if he's finally done for the day at the dealership, and if he's married and has a wife and children, if he answers you, he should be shot. The only reason you're spending as much time doing this tonight as you are is because your girlfriend Laura is away on her girlfriend's weekend. So your GM friend better not answer you tonight, or I'll have words for him. If his wife
haven't heard back from him yet, so that's a good sign, Robert. Thank you for the contribution. Currently at the Dana plant, slinging out axles like snowballs at the south. Dude, I'm nervous. We started the show with this, but I'm nervous for Jeep, man. Like they must have 5,000, I don't know, at least 5,000 cars that they can't get allocated to their dealers right now, but axles are being made. Make the axles. We might need them. That's incredible. Thank you, Robert, for your insights. We appreciate it. And then from Ken here.
Yeah.
Minimum wage in California will rise from $16 to $20 an hour. Major fast food chain employees. How do you think that will affect car prices? I think we're going to continue to just see MSRPs go up, although I bet you we see some stabilization here over the next, I don't know, let's call it year, maybe hopefully 2, because prices have gone up so much. I don't see a direct correlation between minimum wage and what we'll see with car prices. What do you think?
I I I think as manufacturers cut back on EV production, that might actually allow them to suddenly begin to produce more um, affordable, lower priced vehicles so that, even though there's a natural increase year over year, every year, it could be slower moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's hopefully what we'll see for the foreseeable future. All right, Dad. It is a Saturday night. Everyone, thank you for being here with us. Again, caredge.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, let us help you. Scroll down on the page. You can see all the President's Day that have now extended to just February deals that we have on the CarEdge platform. If you're searching for a car, please try using the CarEdge car search. It can help you locate the vehicle. If you're selling a vehicle, caredge.com/sell, get multiple offers all in one place. And then if I jump back to the homepage, we have the ongoing promotion right now, $150 off on the extended warranty mechanical coverage from CarEdge. It is the same stuff you get at a car dealership. It's just we don't mark it up as much. So please give it a try, or at least get a free quote back on CarEdge.
I'll do that. I promise I'll do that. Yeah.
Thank you. James, please send me an email, zach@caredge.com, so I can reply back to you as soon as we hear back from GM Squared. Hasn't been tonight. I'm happy for John, the GM, and I'm happy for us. Everyone, thank you for being here with us, Dad. I will see you tomorrow. And
yeah, you're going to make me work tomorrow, aren't you?
CarEdge.com/deal school, Sarah, /deal school. That's where you can get Deal School 100% FREE. Yeah.
Okay, so you just go to caredge.com/deal school, and that takes you right to Deal School.
Or if you're on the website, like I tried to structure this so everything under resources is free. So Deal School is right there. Everything under resources is free. So yeah.
So when you go into the CarEdge website, and it's in the top banner to the right, and you'll find resources, and there's a drop down box, and in that drop down box are all the. I'm explaining this like I'm in kindergarten because
you're doing a great job.
Because really I'm an old fart and I wouldn't know how to do this. So you hit that drop down button, and then it shows you everything that's in there that's available at absolutely no charge.
And if you want to sponsor us, we actually created a sponsorship page recently. So if you want to sponsor the YouTube videos and things like that, check that out. If you're a brand out there, look at this. You hit contact us. There he is, folks.
I am like horse poop. I am everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
We're back on Monday. Much love.
With more news that you can use at noon on Monday, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Thank you, handsome. Have a great evening. You're looking like you're going to say something.
$150 off till the end of the month on the electronic coverage as well. One exclusively just covers computers and those systems in the vehicle. The other covers everything and all the mechanical stuff as well. So yes, Jim, the discounts on both. Yes, we will be back on Monday. Sorry for cutting you off there, Pops. Get your ginger ale, your ice cubes. I love you. I am going to go to bed.
Okay. I love you too. Have fun. Have a great evening. And I look forward to working with you again tomorrow.
Oh, question for you.
Yes,
let's do a little millennial versus old person. How do you pick up a phone? Show me how you pick up a phone.
What are you talking about? Pick up a phone.
How would you like show someone that you were picking up a phone? Like demonstrate it. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna go this way. Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I hold it like this, so I pick up a phone like this.
Really?
Yeah, like this.
You don't go like this to show someone that you're on the phone?
What are you, Hawaiian?
No, that's how people pick up the phone. All right, make a heart with your hands. Make a heart with your hands.
I can't do that. I can't. Right? I can't.
He does all the. Oh my God! Has anyone else seen this? He does. You do all the Gen Z stuff, Dad.
Call me.